I am pretty sure that you've tried making to-do lists, read about productivity hacks, only to realize that instead of simplifying, most of these hacks end up complicating your life even more. I have tried almost every popular time-saving hack out there, and sadly, most of them never really explained the most important things. For me, productivity relies on three things: environment, energy, and time. So in this productivity series, I'll teach you how I manage my work, time and energy. How do I stay motivated and productive using proven but simple to follow techniques? Good news is that if you watch this video well, you will end up winning a gorgeous new desk setup all for free. So without wasting any further time, let's get started. This entire productivity series is split into three chapters. Chapter number 1 is on organizing your environment. Chapter number 2 is on managing your energy levels. And chapter number 3 is on managing your time and priorities. This video is on chapter number 1, where I'll give you a tour of how I have designed my desk and my entire environment, because this is where the foundations of productivity begin. Please make sure that you document your learnings in detail, because that will not only help you become better at your overall productivity and environment design, but also help you win a brand new desk set from NOOE worth 15,000 rupees all for free. I'll share the details super soon. Let's get started.
This room is actually my storeroom, okay? And I live with my parents, and in 2020, I realized that I need a place to shoot and make content and to work. And this was my terrace room. So I decided in 2020 that I will save up money. And it took me around, I think, 1 year or so to save 1 lakh rupees and 25,000. That is the exact amount that I remember. And I took 1.25 lakhs and I invested all of it back into this room. This is how this place looked like, and you would be able to notice this in my older videos also, because I was very embarrassed about how bad my room looked. But thank God, at least I had a room. So I invested the money and completely redesigned it, and I will give you a proper tour. You will get a full in-depth tour of my work setup as to what all things have I bought, how do I make content, what is the entire process like, how do I think about productivity in general. And by the way, this is chapter number 1, right? So the entire series is going to have 3 episodes. Episode number 1 is today. Chapter number 2 is going to be about maintaining your energy. Chapter number 3 is going to be about, just managing your time and priorities in general. So let me turn the camera and I'll show you how my desk setup looks like. Okay, so as soon as you enter, you will see this chair and you have the desk. All right, so this is how my desk looks like. To quickly break it down, I have a standing desk, and that means that I can literally switch on the table and increase the height. I won't do it now because it'll just be very distracting. And I have my laptop, I have an iMac, and then I have an extended display, and I have rotated it because I use this for my documentation. So what I do is I would watch a video here, and then I would take my notes on my Notion, and then this is my Todoist, where I basically keep a track of everything that I do. And we'll discuss all of these things in the upcoming videos. Coming back to the environment, what I've done is I have kept warm lights in my room, and we will come to the logic behind these lights as well, how I have designed these lights. And these are called spotlights or pointer lights. And contrary to what you would believe, they're actually not that expensive. And this is a Godox light. This is a pretty expensive one. That is my camera. And I use a teleprompter now because I have like really long scripts. So it's from this brand called DeskView. I would keep my phone here and it would sort of mirror all the scripts. I have a Fujifilm X-T30, really good one. And this is a stand that I use for my, my iPad, my iPad mini and like my phone. And what I would usually do is I would sort of bring it down. So if I'm on an Instagram live, this thing would keep my phone in place. And if you're wondering, how do you get these things? A lot of this stuff actually comes from like a single company. So it's called NOOE. In fact, the mobile holder, the laptop stand, that wire organizer, even this organizer right here, this entire thing, even this velvet mat, all of it is from NOOE. And they are amazing people. It's from an Indian designer, and they're like co-founders, amazing work. In fact, I messaged them and they actually offered to give these away for free. So two people from this video, if you're living in India, you can participate in the giveaway and actually win their entire config 01 setup for free. Now, if you're wondering how can you win the config 01 setup, what you need to do is you need to go to our YouTube channel, pick any video that you really, really like, document your learnings, and then create either an Instagram reel. Take that reel and upload it on Instagram and LinkedIn and tag me and NOOE. And I'll share their handles in the description. I'll put them in the video as well right here at the bottom. And if you don't want to make a reel, the second alternative is to make an Instagram carousel of your learnings. So it can either be a reel or a carousel with your top learnings from any video that you've liked from our YouTube channel. Two people who do this really, really well, who actually document their learnings well and tag me and NOOE on both Instagram and LinkedIn will get the config 01 setup for free delivered to their house. And it's a beautiful product. I have the boxes in my house. I already have them. I just need to courier them to you. Trust me, you will absolutely love them. Now, coming back to the entire setup, I have a pen and pencil on my desk next to my keyboard at all times. I have this journal right here, which is again like a super thick journal. I really, really like it. Any idea that I get, any to-do stuff that I have, I would write it here. And I always keep a big mug and a big bottle. So this bottle can store hot water as well. So that's super important in winters. Really high quality stuff. And even this mug is pretty solid. Really, really like it. It's completely black in color. So, if anything falls into my water, I can instantly, catch it. And that's a wire organizer. And I've just made sure that, things are looking in sync. I think that's super important. Anytime I look up, I have this big board. It says work hard in silence, let success be the noise, just to keep myself inspired. I have a nice tissue box. And what I usually do is now I keep my phone on the phone holder so that it's away from me. Otherwise, if it was here at all times, I would keep using it. It would keep me distracted at all times. Now, when it comes to the rest of the room, what I've done is I have this Ansh Mehra cartoon, or you can say a caricature, anything like that. And it's on this white wall, but I'm going to get a black dark wallpaper on this exact wall because turns out these bright walls don't reflect color itna zyada. When I use my colored lights on this wallpaper, it does a good job. So like dark colors do well as a background on YouTube. And what I've done is, if you were to look at the lights of my room, what I've done is I've had different switches. Okay, so what happens is that I can turn on, some lights and, switch off some of them. It depends on the kind of quality that I want. I've kept both white and warm lights. I usually stick with warm lights if a guest is coming home, or if there's like a nice premium video that I want to make, because warm light gives across a very nice luxe feel, right? And I think that's super, super important. And I also have this mic stand. I have these dumbbells. I have a bench right there. Sometimes I use it for crunches. I need to be more regular with it. I keep preaching you guys on YouTube and then I keep skipping my own habits. Yeah, I think that's the cost that we have to pay, but I'm pretty sure I'll get back to it. But just having this bench in front of me in my house, sometimes I would just clean it and keep it in the center, and that really helps me feel more motivated. The trampoline is also outside, so it's on the terrace where I jump for my blood flow. So a trampoline is also a great investment to have. So when it comes to my products, that is the dumbbell. It has variable weights, so I can change the weights accordingly. That's the mic. That's the thing that I use for my push-ups. That's the bench. For an extended height, I have the small desk on top of which I have these colored lights. So these are Philips Hue. I can change the color because people would otherwise get bored of this wallpaper. This wallpaper was also imported, a pretty expensive investment, very, very expensive. I think the entire budget of the room was sort of exaggerated because of this wallpaper right here. That's a window, and I've kept, these shades that have these gradient lines. I think they really add character, like super detailed stuff. Then I have my bed. That's my wire organizer. So all of my wires are in here. Everything is pretty messy, but yeah, at least they are in a specific box. That's my phone cover. If you're wondering, it has an organizer in it. This is from Under Armour. I got this from Noida itself. Quilt, pillow. I think these are pretty straightforward. I keep telling about this again and again, that please invest in a good pillow and a good mattress. I think it's supremely important. People don't take this advice seriously. The quality of your work depends on your sleep, and your sleep depends on these two components. So yeah, that's a quilt, and I've had a mat at the bottom. Sometimes in winters or even in summers, I would just like take my socks out and keep my feet on it. It makes me feel really, really like comfortable. I think these small, small things really, really add up to the entire workspace. Now, a very important thing to understand here is that you need silence and you need peace. I think those are the most valuable things, and sadly, you can't buy those. You can have like amazing gadgets, amazing interiors, a lot of stuff in the entire world. But if you don't have peace and if people are constantly disturbing you, you can't work. And I empathize with people who don't have the luxury, who don't have the privilege of getting your own room. So I completely get why a lot of you might feel more stressed out when you're trying to work from home. But if you can invest in a co-working space, I think that is a great place to have. And of course, if you win the config setup, you can have your setup in your house as well. Apart from that, I really want to emphasize on the fact that, folks, all of this that you see, this wasn't built in a day. It took almost like 4 or 5 years to actually sort these things out, and it always takes time. Okay, this is how my room looked in 2020. Like, I had to redesign everything, and it takes so much time to curate these things one by one. And I would just recommend you to focus on a skill, work on yourself. And for a very long time, I was just making videos about like design and AI, right? And then I went through the comment section and people were asking me, Ansh, all of this is great, but how do we manage our time? How do we stay motivated? How do we feel better? And I realized that, dude, this is what they are struggling with. What am I even teaching? I have completely forgotten the kind of problems I had when I was starting out. Of course, I remember the problems that I had from a design perspective, from a learning perspective. But now I realize that when I was in college, I was also very scared about managing my time and how should I increase my productivity, how should I feel better, how should I stay more motivated in general. So that is why I am trying to make this kind of content as well.
If you like this video, please tell me in the comment section if you want to watch part 2. Make sure that whenever you make your Instagram carousel, LinkedIn carousel or reel, please tag me and NOOE on Instagram. I will put their Instagram handles in description and here in the video itself. We will be giving away 2 config setups absolutely for free. This giveaway is only valid for viewers living in India. All the details are in the description, and trust me, the entire config 01 setup is absolutely gorgeous. You will absolutely thank me that, Ansh, this was a great addition to my setup. If you're here for the first time, please make sure that you click on subscribe and hit the bell icon because we regularly make content on productivity and tech upskilling. We have also launched free platforms like learnuiux.in and howtoprompt.in that will help you learn amazing skills like UX design, prototyping, spatial design, prompt engineering, and just learning about AI tools like ChatGPT and Midjourney. With that being said, I hope that you're taking care of your mind and body. This is your dost Ansh Mehra signing out. If you like this video, make sure you click here because this is the next video you have to watch to upskill yourself. We've been making some amazing content and I want to make sure that you finish the entire playlist.